Hi everybody, it's Julie from Julie's Craft Landing, and it is just a few minutes after 10, right on schedule for Julie's Craft Landing.
We're always 5 or 10 minutes late.
That's why we went with this airplane theme, because aren't you always just a little bit late when you're on an airplane?
Yeah,
so see, we're just on airport time, that's all. But it is Tuesday, we made it to Tuesday, and feels like a wild week so far. So I'm hoping the rest of the week kind of calms down, because yesterday was a little crazy, but we'll see. As it gets closer and closer to summer, things always seem to get busier and busier. I'm not sure why that is, but as the kids get out of school and everything, more and more seems to happen. So anyway, let's see if anyone shows up for this time. I'm actually thinking about changing this 10 o'clock time to noon on Tuesdays instead, because more people seem to be able to reach us at noon than they can at 10 a.m. It's I don't know, must be too early for people, or
yeah, it seems like, yeah,
just doesn't seem to be a really great time. But our 12 o'clock time more people seem to be able to see us then. So we want to do whatever works for everybody. So I'm thinking that we're going to change it to noon, but we will let everybody know. So we're sticking with 10 o'clock, and we'll see if anybody finds us at this time and can pop in here. So I wrote in my little teaser description a little while ago that I was coming on today at 10, and I was going to show you what our bad dogs did for the week. I know. It's like, what did the weekly Burdick dogs do? Well, let me tell you.
I had to fix one of our sprinkler valves. Because one of our valves, of course, being springtime, you always got to fire up the sprinklers and see which ones broke over the winter and everything. So,
yep.
I replaced one, and I left a piece out there where the dogs have access to it.
We think it's a piece that he left out.
Yes, I know it is. It's fine.
We hope so.
Yeah.
This is what they brought in. This is what we find in the middle of the kitchen floor.
Oh, yeah, because they grab it and then they bring it inside through the doggy door.
Yes. So there's nothing like walking into your kitchen and seeing this.
And
your thought is, I hope that wasn't connected.
Yeah.
Before the dogs ripped it out.
No, it wasn't. That was the old one that I replaced.
Luckily, it was the old one.
Yeah.
But I would not put I would not put it past them to have pulled the whole thing out.
Oh yeah.
Because that's stuff our dogs would do. I mean, I'm not kidding. Our dogs, we have found. I found a big old steak knife outside. I mean, more than a big steak knife.
They're resourceful.
Yeah, they really are busy bees. And they like to usually take stuff outside. Usually we find the stuff outside. But lately they've been bringing stuff in for us. So it's always fun to see what they're going to bring in. So that was our bad Burdick dogs for the week. We'll see what they do for next week.
Right.
Because you never know. So this week's featured product is this is the Stampin' Up! Bag Punch Board. Now I say that very carefully, because what I have learned, which I did not realize, I don't know when they stopped making this, but there was a box punch board before. So
this is the bag.
This is the bag punch board. Now we have an envelope punch board also, but you just have to carefully say that when you say it, because this is the bag one. So these are some basic bags that I just made out of it to show you how you can do small, medium, large size bags. This one is a little bit of a variation, because you can see here, if I open this up, it's got a little flap on it. And then with this cute little clip that is holding it shut there. And if you'll note on this, and I'll show it sometime, this is not a perfect match, I will admit, because
the purple bow, you mean?
Yes, this was actually a white, kind of a cream color, and I colored it with ink.
It matches up pretty well.
To color it, yeah.
So if you didn't say anything, no one would know.
It actually matches really well, but I don't know what it will come out looking like in the video, because when I tried to take a picture of it, it did not look like it matched. And I think it was the sheen of this or something, because it actually...
It looks pretty darn good.
It actually matches up pretty darn good to it. So,
Hi, Caroline.
So, hi, Carolyn. Carolyn, I was searching racehorse names last night at midnight, and I was thinking of you. I know.
The things you look at midnight.
And why? I know. We don't have a racehorse. We're not interested in a racehorse in any type of way. But racehorse
or any
people,
horse for that matter.
or any horse, really. I mean, they're nice enough. We don't personally need any more things that poop in our house. So, but racehorse people actually come up with great names. So I was actually looking up racehorse names last night. So that was pretty funny. Anyway, those are the bags. It also, I'll show later, not today, later this week, you'll see that you can make boxes with this bag punch board. And I made a super cute, what I call a report card holder, but it's a little card that you can pull the top out of it. It's very cute. So I will show that stuff later, but I want to move on with what I'm going to do today because I am excited about what I'm going to do today. And I'm going to stick with just the basic bag, and I'll show everybody how just to make this basic bag again with the bag punch board. But I'm going to teach everyone a new technique and with the dragging, and this is what we're going to make. It's this little bag that looks kind of like a watermelon, and then you can put little watermelon treats in it, or how fun is that for summertime? So
it's perfect for a picnic gift.
it's a picnic gift. So I thought that was really cute. I'm super excited about it. So I'm going to show everybody how to make it. So let's get started here so that hopefully we don't take too long to do this. It shouldn't take too long. Take my glasses off so I can see what I'm doing. So I'm actually going to make a medium-sized bag. So I'll just show this real quick here. This is the bag punch board. Why I decided to do this week is this board, they actually, this and the envelope punch board, they are no longer going to carry this after June. And so if you guys like what this does, now's the time to get it. They're only $20. It's cheap to get them, or I think that's reasonably priced, reasonably inexpensive. And you can do a lot of things with them, and they're easy to do. So even though it kind of looks a little weird, I will say that I just got this. Not just got it. I got it maybe 6 months ago. And kept thinking that I needed to pull it out and do something with it, and kept putting it off because I was a little intimidated by it. Now I've learned there's no reason to be intimidated. So, especially because they have the directions right here on how to do it. So you just follow the directions, but super easy. So, and we are going to do some scoring. And so here's the best part. If you don't have your bone folder with you, look at it.
It's got one built in.
Ta-da! It's got one built in there.
Or you can butter your toast.
It does kind of look like a little plastic knife.
It does.
So, on here it does say basically kind of the sizes, and you can do them any size you want, but it just gives basic sizes on here. So this is, since I'm going to do a medium bag, I'm going to do 7 inches tall by 11 inches wide. And hopefully Josh will be able to catch this so that you can read the instructions on here. So where we're going to start with this is on the start line. So if we see this, it says the start line right here. So I'm going to put my paper in up to this start line so that it lines up on the start line. And punch it. I'm not on my table has a little give here, so we'll see what we can do. So I'm going to punch it. And then I'm going to go to, since I said I'm doing the medium size bag, I'm going to go to medium, and I'm going to score. I actually do better scoring in this direction when I can see the line a little bit better. It just drops down from this hole and you follow it, but I do better lining it up this way, so I go backwards. Then what we're going to do, so can everybody see this score line that I made here? Mm-hmm. I'm going to take this score line and I'm going to push it down to, can you see this little thing?
Let's see.
See that little thing, that little pointy thing? I'm going to line up, I don't know what it's called, the pointy thing. I'm going to line my score line up that I just made onto that pointy thing so that they line up. Then, once it's on there, I'm going to punch. Now, I did medium the first time. That was either the front or the back of the bag. Now I'm going to do the sides. So I go to side and do my score line down the side. I do my triangle so that my bag will fold up. See, like this. See that? And then I go to side 2 to get my other line for the other side of the bag. And then slide my paper down. So I'm going to take that score line down to the pointy thing, my last score line down to the pointy thing, line it back up. I'm going to punch. I'm going to go to my medium mark. And again, I'm going to score backwards to my medium mark here because that's the way I do it. And then I'm going to move it down.
Move it.
Keep moving it along here. I'm going to line it up. I'm going to punch. I'm back to a side again, right? Because I did front, back, side. Now I'm going to do side, so I'm back to the side. Do my triangle. Do my other side. Slide it down, and I only have just a little teeny tiny bit left. So I'm going to line this up for that little teeny tiny bit and punch. And that's it.
That punch is just taking that big wedge out.
Yep, it's just cutting this wedge out and rounding the corners.
Cool.
So one thing that I didn't do.
And it gives you the starting dimensions for your whole piece there?
Yep, because you have all different sizes. So trim paper width, you can do small 10 inches, medium 11 inches, large 12 inches. Okay. You can do it. That's what it recommends for this size bag. And then trim the length, the paper, anywhere from 4 inches to 12 inches. So the height of your bag can be anywhere from 4 inches to 12 inches. Okay. So then, now it has in here, built right here, this what's called horizontal line. I'm going to turn this so that you can see it a little bit better. Okay. See this horizontal line? And you can just put your paper all the way in there and then run it along that line, but then you got to keep sliding it down, run, slide, keep going all the way down.
The depth, where to fold it down.
Because that tells you where to fold it for the bottom.
For the bottom tabs.
What I do, and that works just fine, you can do it that way. Personally, what I do is I take it over to my trimmer, my paper trimmer, and with my score line,
you can do one long line.
I just do it all at once. I line up the bottoms of the little holes here for my tabs so that I know that I'm, lined up in the right spot.
Right.
Line up those right along where, what I would call the cut line, the score line, and I'm just going to do it all at once.
It's all in one shot.
So, all in one shot. Okay? Now, we go back, and this little flippy doohickey, we don't need it. We're going to take him off. Chop him off. And this is going to be a tab to use for the tape. I'm going to actually
nip the corners.
Cut the corners of those tabs. Okay, that's the only thing that we're going to cut. Now we're going to go back and fold all of our score lines. So spin your score lines and you can use this bone folder or your I'm just using my regular bone folder, whichever. Works just fine. Today we all got to think about Jalen. She came home so excited the other day because they're having a talent show. And auditions are today. So she's going to sing Annie's song tomorrow. But she only knows a couple lines of it. So she's only singing a couple lines of it. But it will be cute, I'm sure. It's just the audition. So she's pretty excited about it. So we'll be thinking of her today. Now I'm going to take my tearing tape. And so how this is looking now is we're going to, you can kind of see it coming together basically. Just going to fold it around there. See it, just fold it around. And this is going to be the bottom. That's what we're going for, just like that. So, so I'm going to take my tear and tape and put it on. If you think about it, because like I said, I'm going to go like this. We're going to flip this back and put the tear and tape on this side.
Along that flap edge.
Along the flap here. Extra push there. Peel it up. And then I'm just going to fold this over, line us up to make sure we're straight here, and ta-da! And now what I'm going to do is I just use glue on this. I'm going to put, so that you can all see it, a little bit of glue here on the end.
Because that's the bottom.
This is the bottom. We got to hold it together here. I do have glue in this thing. There we go. I'm going to put some glue there. And I'm going to fold this down. Make sure it's somewhat straight. I'm going to put just some glue here. So not all the way across this flap. I mean, not all the way up to the top. Just like that. Then I'm going to flip this whole box over with that glue on there. Set it down. I'm just going to take a block. Make sure it's all straight. And I'm just going to push those flaps down, because if you look in there, there's flaps in there that I'm just pushing those down to make sure that those
Everything got glued down.
adhered to the bottom. There we go. There's our bag. Now on the sides, we have our little score lines for the sides here. And I did not bend those score lines before. I just left them, so it's kind of a box shape right now, because I'm just going to bend them now, pushing in from the top because they're already kind of creased. And then here, you just kind of push in there and it'll start to give on that little triangle right there and make your bottom down there. Now, I don't want it super, super creased, so that's why I did it like this. You could crease those if you wanted it really creased in there, but I didn't want it really super creased because I want them to still stand up. So there's our little box, or our little bag. So now, I'm actually going to do I'll show you. All I did for this top part is I take this one I just used a big punch on because I like that big hole right there. So I used my half-inch circle, and I guesstimated, went down a little ways, guesstimated about the center. Now, if you're particular about this, you do measuring. I'm not going to do measuring. I'm going to eyeball it. I'm going to punch it. Then I'm going to grab a pencil from over here. Hopefully. Yep.
Transfer it.
And I'm just going to do a circle in here. Just so that
punch not do both layers too thick.
Okay, so it could do both these layers, is my guess. I think with no problem at all. But I will be honest, when I did this one, actually, yeah, I think it was this one. I had this on there, and then I had the layers, and then it wasn't this one because I had another piece on back of DSP.
Oh, you had all the other layers on there.
And when I went to cut it all through, I actually broke one of my stamps or one of my punches doing that.
Yeah.
Because
too much.
That's not what they're made for. So I'm trying to behave myself now. It actually wasn't that, because it was my 2-inch punch that I broke, so it was something else. But so you can see I made my I just drew it through there, so that way I know where to move it to go in on the other side. So now I see it on the other side. I'm gonna just find that little circle in there and punch it out, so now they line up together. So just an extra step. It probably would have gone through both those without a problem, because I have cut through 2 pieces of cardstock before, but now I'm a little scared. There we go. And all I did for the ribbon, and I can even tie the ribbon on now, so that you can see, but I just took my piece of ribbon. This is the Granny Apple Green ribbon. I love this. I think this is really pretty ribbon. Folded in half, and I just made kind of this little loop, pulled my top through. And you can do whatever you want. You can tie a bow on top or whatever you want to do on top. And then I just cut these because then it stood up all cute when I cut it. I cut that backwards, so I have no idea if I cut it too short or long, but I think it looks okay. Okay, so now let's do the front because this is the new technique. So let's see how to do this. Now,
that little bag tool made it pretty easy to knock that bag out pretty quick.
Oh yeah, it does. You can do these really fast.
That's the medium size bag.
That's the medium size bag. So this was, well, this isn't, I actually didn't do these exactly by size.
So that one looks taller.
There's one that's, because I kind of did them weird little sizes. This was, I think 6.5, 7.5, and 8.5, I think is what I did on those. I kind of did a variety, but you can do all different sizes, but that is the medium one. So next we are going to do some inking. So I'm going to take a piece of paper, my piece of paper that's going to go on the front. This is 3 by 4.5, and you can see it's going to layer right onto the front of this, just like that.
Just a nice border.
Yep.
Around it.
Just with a little border around it. And I am going to use 4 ink colors on this. I actually need a couple scrap pieces of paper.
I like that green on the red. It reminds me of an apple. It looks like the stem coming up off of a little red.
It does right there. That would actually be cute. You could do it as an apple too.
Do an apple.
Yeah, because this one I actually did with the melon color behind it, the pink behind it, and I decided to try this one with the Puppy Parade behind it. Okay, so this is my card. This is going to be the front, and I'm going to start with the top. So I'm going to start with the melon.
Because you're doing the melon.
Mambo. I'm making a melon.
All right.
So I'm starting with melon mambo. So I'm taking my ink. I'm going to open this all the way up here.
I'm going to move this melon closer so we can see it. You can see your progress.
And starting with the top. This is scary for me. I will admit this because I'm not, remember I said I'm a person that really likes, you cut it at 2 inch, 4 inch, 6 inch, whatever. You stamp it, solid stamps. I'm not really good at just winging it. So for me to be able to say, just go down a little ways and not be able to say, just go down 3 inches, that's hard for me. So.
Well, if you give up, you cut another piece of paper.
Well, you can see.
You got an extra one.
That's why I have 2. And I also brought this just in case. So we're just going to take our melon mambo and we're going to start at the top and kind of determine how far down we want our melon to go, our pink part to go. So I want it to go, this I felt like I did too much green down at the bottom. So I'm going to try to do a little bit more pink, a little bit more red, not quite as much there. So I'm just going to go and set lightly and I'm going to drag. Set it down and drag it across.
Oh, that looks cool.
Mm-hmm. Okay, that's all I'm going to do. Now, I'm going to go on to my, I'm going to give this a shake here, let this dry just
You
a
just
little
got
bit.
the backer behind it so you can kind of swipe across and not make a mess.
Yep. Yep, you got to have, you probably want to put something behind it so that, yeah, you don't make a total mess, but.
Well, that way you can kind of start your swipe off of the paper and swipe across.
Yep. Now, what I did here, and I could just, I wanted so that I didn't go too far up into my pink area. So I just kind of put this to block it a little bit.
A little buffer.
Yeah, so that I knew not to go, it wouldn't go up above that point. I will say you got to hold on to both these in order to do this. So I'm going to put a finger there and a finger here to hold on to everything to make sure. Otherwise, when you drag the whole thing. So I'm going to put my little buffer and I'm going to go with my red next. And I'm going to see. And I did this before. It's hard for me to do this so everyone can see it here. And see, I didn't get enough right there. That's okay. Just go back and drag it again to whatever you want it to be.
Right.
Okay, so there's our red. Next, I'm going to go to, I'm kind of doing this upside down pattern, or upside down. Like I said, it's all right. I'm gonna shake this.
Shake it like a Polaroid picture.
That's right. Like someone's gonna appear here soon or something on it, because it's pretty wet here, but that's okay. I'm just gonna put this again back over it here to not go up too far. And next I'm gonna do my Granny Green Apple. So I did Melon Mambo to start with, Poppy Parade next. Next I'm doing Granny Apple Green. Open this all the way up here. And I'm just gonna do, let me try it in this direction, see if I can do this better. Like I feel like I'm trying to make it so that everyone can see, and I'm like struggling trying to get everything in the right direction here.
You just do your thing. We'll get it. There you go.
But, okay. And now I'm going to drag.
There you go.
So just a little bit, and then I'm gonna do my
Final color.
darkest green at the bottom, which is garden green for my rind down here at the bottom. Put this down, and I'm just going to try not to drag across my mat.
Ooh, that was a good swipe.
That was a good one.
It's very watercolory.
It's pretty fun. I'll show you another technique with this. So there's our melon. Okay, so I'm gonna let this dry a minute here. I'm just gonna set this there a minute, and I'm gonna show you, this is kind of a fun technique because you can drag. So let me think here. I'm gonna start with lightest, I think. So I can take my Melon Mambo and let's
Good swipe.
watch this. I didn't try this before, so I'm not sure what how these colors will go together.
To move around on you.
Yeah, I would take this down a little bit more if I were doing it now. Let's go to our darkest color here. And when that dries, you can do this with different colors to get different patterns. You can crisscross it to get crisscross patterns in it and stuff, but you can, so you can get this distressed look going on of different things too. But those aren't great colors. That, I mean, that was totally off the wall. I just showed you that. That was not planned in any type of way. So probably not the best colors. I would do it with different colors next time, but that's okay. So back to this one. Okay, now we got our melon here. Okay, now you guys, some of you are gonna freak. So be prepared. Be prepared to freak. Okay, so on this one you see these little guys. Now some of you could probably draw those little guys. The little seeds.
Yeah.
See them? Some of you could draw those little seeds. Some of us can't.
Need help.
We need help.
Or just a faster, easier way.
Well, no.
No.
Probably be faster and easier if you
Just
drew
draw 'em.
them. Okay, so this was what I did on these, because this was my first attempt to, because I didn't spend a lot of time looking for a little seed-like shape. So I took my trio punch.
Oh, there you go. You made a stencil.
I did. I put it in, I made my little stencil, and then you can see, I took these and I only wanted one. So I just blocked these other holes.
There you go.
And I also didn't want that little tip at the end. Mm-hmm. So I blocked the other holes and then just kind of
made it the shape you wanted.
Made it the shape I wanted. So that's how I did that one.
So sneaky.
Yes. Now, what I would do with this, if I were doing it again, next I would probably do something, make a little thing to go around this so that, because then I took a dauber and...
Oh, I see. And you don't want to go off the edge.
Yeah, I had to be real careful to make sure that I stayed in this little area.
Yeah, and if you go over, you're gonna...
Yeah, so I would have made a little...
Nice.
I would have, made a little edge around it if I were going to do it again like that.
Right.
But then after I did that...
Hi, Marianne.
I went and... How's my Gracie girl doing? Marianne, is she doing good? I assume. She got spayed yesterday, so... Okay, so like I said, some of you are going to freak. So I went back to my little bag of tricks. This is the Detailed with Love, which has the stamp that I'm going to use. The Life is Sweeter with Friends Like You, because I thought that was a cute saying to go with the melon. And I found this. And I was like, those are my little seeds. Mm-hmm. And you can see, I haven't done this yet, but those are my little seeds. Perfect.
Marianne says she's doing well. She's almost back to her old self.
Oh, good. When she hears my voice, she'll be excited. Okay, guys, so get ready. Hold on to your pants, because I'm going to take this.
You're cutting your stamp?
And I'm going to cut it up. Because I want...
Ruthless.
That seed. And I want... Now, if I were going to still want this stamp to use later altogether, I would probably do this just one. Cut one off, because then I could always put it back together and use it again. You can cut your stamps apart because you can always put them back on your block.
Just lay them back together.
And just put them back together again. And you won't even be able to tell that you cut it apart. Okay? I'm actually going to go a little bit further. I'm going to cut off 2 of them. Okay, I'm going to go further.
Man, you really don't like that stamp.
It's all right. I've never used this one, so hey, why not cut it up to how I want to use it, and let's use it. So now, I'm going to put...
We're making a watermelon bag.
A watermelon bag.
So she's cut the stamp apart to make watermelon seeds for her watermelon bag.
Because Miss Julie, keep in mind, is not great at winging it by hand here.
But you're going to take those little seeds right there.
So, I'm going to take those.
You can just like on that bag.
And I'm going to use my Memento Black ink. I'm going to dot, 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 dot. You guys are seeing this live for the first time. I have not practiced this, so
Hi, Janice.
let's all hope that this works well. And let's put those water...
Look at that. Look at that.
Look at that! Ta-da! It was a craft takeoff!
Better than a crash landing.
It was! Check it out! Let's do it again.
You could make a whole assembly line of little watermelon bags.
Ta-da! So excited. Let's do some up here. I need just one up here.
There you go.
And maybe just one right here. Should I go down? I need to go down into the red a little bit more too, right?
Go down in the red.
Yeah. I think instead of, to make sure that they aren't all exactly uniform, I'm just going to move this just a little bit.
Or take 1 or 2 off.
Yeah, that would make it go faster. Or go slower,
Okay.
rather. Let's do right here. Pa-pow.
There you go.
Let's do right here. Pa-pow. I need one right there. So I am going to have to take a couple off here. Yes, this is a border punch that I have now cut apart. Wow! And made watermelon seeds.
Cute.
Too cute! So cute, so cute. Okay, so now if I ever want to use that again for a border punch, I'm just going to have to piece all these pieces back together again. But like I said, I had never used it before as a border punch. I'm sure people have done cute things with it. I had never used it before, so why not use it how I would use it? So I cut it apart. Okay, now let's go to our Life is Sweeter with Friends Like You. And ink this up. And I'm going to put this right here. Bam.
Looks good.
Check that out. Isn't that cute?
Turn it
How
around
cute
so
is
our
that?
adoring audience can see it.
Now, this was, remember, just the technique. This was the dragging technique that I was showing you. You could take this and put this on a, this was 3 by 4.5 because we're going to use it on the gift bag. You could make this bigger and put it on the front of a card and make a card out of it. How cute.
Mm-hmm.
Cute, cute, cute. But we're going to take it back over to our Poppy Parade bag that we made with the, remember, with the punch board, the gift bag punch board. I am going to, I would use normally glue. I'm just going to snail this on real quick here, but I would do something a little more solid. And now, if you could find, you know those little sweet and sour watermelon candies? They're the little gummy, like the things I like the sour worms and stuff. They have sour watermelons like that. How cute would those be inside of there for a little gift bag? I think that is stinking cute. What does everyone think?
I think it's cute. I like that same idea too, just for like a, for like an invite for a summer party or something.
You could do, yeah, if you were doing a watermelon theme,
Yeah.
you could do this. And what's fun about it is they're all a little bit different. It's all, you're not going to have any, like I said, this one had more green on it than this one did. You know, it's all just however you make it.
Yeah.
And however it happens to land, because if you drag it too wide, then it's too wide.
Right.
So I think it's really cute. Like I said, this gift bag punch board is going to retire in June. This is the detailed stamp set. And I meant to look this up before I came down. Oh, I have it on here. This stamp set is retiring. I wasn't sure. I couldn't remember if it was retiring or not. So this stamp set, and this stamp set is the one that matches this trio punch. So if you have the trio punch, how it matches up is if you punch, let's do a little sample here. So if you, let's see, how would that work? I got to think on that because I haven't done it. Because this is the same as this. So you could punch, you could stamp that and then punch with this and punch those out, right?
I don't know.
Because they go together. Is what this was a bundle that they did together, so they have to punch together. But what I actually use this stamp set for more than anything, I've done Life is Sweeter. I've done this thank you several times. I do really like these for little corner decorations. And I have used this quite a few times under something else to do a little squiggly under something else. So that's a common one that I use. One that I use for that too. So cute stamp set, or you cut it up and make watermelon seeds.
That's right.
So that is it for today. I am going to go back and put a description on here. I have a host code up for the whole month of May. We're going to go with a host code for the whole month of May. Anybody that places an order of $40 or more, I will send you a free gift, and we're going to run that all through the month of May. I will be back on Thursday with another project on Thursday, and I hope everybody tries this one because it's a little scary at first, because I know, like I said, I'm kind of my detailed person, and it's not detailed. It's a little more freeform, but it's pretty fun. I think you'll actually enjoy doing it once you give it a try.
It brings out your inner artiste.
It really does. And the gift bags, super easy. If you're making little treats for everyone, gift bags, whatever. I mean, I did look at with the little daisy on it. I mean, just cute. Cute, simple, fast, easy gifts. Easy little treat bags. So if you guys need me to help you find anything in the catalog, anything online, let me know. You can always email me or go onto my website, juliescraftlanding.com. And you can find all my information there and everything. And I hope you guys have a great Tuesday and Wednesday. It's beautiful outside here. We had almost 80-degree weather yesterday. So it is so nice outside. I'm going to go and see what my naughty dogs have brought in next. I'll show for you, those of you that came in late. Yep. That's what they brought in yesterday for us.
Sprinkler parts.
Yep. Inside on my kitchen floor. It's better than a dead animal.
Yes.
I will give you that. So.
And don't forget, everybody, we're thinking about adjusting our times on Tuesday to maybe a little bit later.
Yep. So. Let me know what you guys think about that. If you guys think noon would be a better time to do our Tuesdays, because we want to do whatever works for everybody.
Yep.
Please remember, if you guys like what I'm doing, please share it with your friends. That's the best way to get word out for other people to see. We want everybody to enjoy it. Stamping and crafting is an amazing form of therapy. Just using the creative side of your brain and just calming yourself to go and do things. Most of the time. We have stressful moments too. Yep. So have a good day. Bye-bye.